Up is in full swing, and Ann Coulter is making waves after releasing her latest column taking aim at America's recent soccer craze, titled America's Favorite National Pastime, Hating Soccer. Now, Coulter slams the sport, asking, quote, do they even have MVPs in soccer? Everyone just runs up and down the field, and every once in a while a ball accidentally goes in. She also suggests the popularity in soccer here in the U.S. is due in part to the influx of immigrants, saying, quote, I promise you no American whose great-grandfather was born here is watching soccer. Joining us now from you're not emigrating to France, are you?
No, but we're all in tenterhooks worrying about what's going to happen in the big Germany-Algeria game. I'm right outside the Champs-Elysees, lined with cops. I was here last Thursday night.
Right.
And that the Russia-Algeria game ended with an exhilarating 1-1 tie, and they were all rioting out here. Yeah, it's a really thrilling game. And my critics have apparently tried to persuade me that soccer is a macho game by throwing 1 week of hissy fits over my column.
I've been following it on social media. It's actually very entertaining. You really struck a chord here, but I'm with you. I'm not a big soccer fan. And unless it's a shootout, it's kind of monotonous watching guys run up and down the court and up and down the field. But let me move on, because there's an immigration component to this. The president spoke on immigration today, and the president says, oh, Congress doesn't do what I want. They're not going to pass the amnesty. Now, once again, he's going to try an executive power his way and ram it through. I wanted to get your reaction to it.
No, I'm glad you asked me this, because I'm out of the country and I'm terrified that Congress will fall for this. There is no way Obama is using his executive authority in the middle of this surge on the border to suddenly just grant them all amnesty. What I'm worried about is that he'll go to Congress and ask for unlimited discretion to deal with the problem. And so we want to look that over and be very careful he doesn't get that. We do need to change the law so that if you are from someplace other than Mexico, you don't get invited in and given, clean diapers, a place to stay, and flown around the country to complete the criminal conspiracy of human smuggling as an illegal alien. I mean, the problem's out of control. We need a fence on the border like Israel has.
All right, listen, look at the impact it's having on our healthcare system, our criminal justice system, our educational system, now especially on the healthcare issue. And now Eric Holder is going to provide all of these people that they haven't stopped from coming into the country. He's giving them, what, government-paid lawyers? So now we're going to pay the legal fees.
Right.
Now I mean, the amount of money, do you think this was planned on their part? Do you think this is like the Alinsky tactic, make it happen, create chaos, and then, oh, blame the other guy?
Oh, absolutely, and not even necessarily to blame the other guy, but just get them here. Just get them here, like the 11 million illegal immigrants. And then we can have Marco Rubio and Rand Paul going around saying, what are you going to do? Deport them all? Deport them all? Just get them in. And in a matter of years, they'll be voting Democrat and collecting welfare. Unfortunately, the country can't afford it. And we have our own poor people we need to take care of. Yeah. And we're running out of money for that. I mean, as I pointed out many times, the people this hurts the most are African Americans. Their jobs are being taken. They're the ones who need the low-wage jobs that are being undercut and then subsidized by taxpayers through the welfare that illegal immigrants and also just low-wage immigrants are taking. I mean, the second group it probably hurts the most are legal Hispanic immigrants. This hurts low-wage Americans. Republicans are the party that cares about all Americans and not just the very wealthy or the very, very poor.
It may shock you, but the Washington Examiner had a piece last week that said 90% get court dates, then they get released, and then shockingly, they don't show up for their court date. The question is, what do we...
No, I know...
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, when I worked for the Senate Judiciary Committee, this was my issue. It wasn't just for, or it wasn't at all for illegal immigrants. It was for immigrants who come to this country who commit felonies. They're convicted. Their convictions are upheld. If they committed an aggravated felony, the law said they were supposed to serve their time and then be deported. At that time, they were being deported at a rate of 4% a year because they could go into endless hearings. Once they finish all the immigration hearings, they could have their habeas corpus hearings. Well, that's, a decade in the the United States, at which point they've married, and then they throw themselves on the mercy of the court saying, oh, but I have an American spouse, I have an American child. Well, that's because you've been living here. This is why I think you're absolutely right that Obama just wants, get them in, just get them in. What is it? It's already like 90,000 they're expecting this year, 140,000 illegal immigrants just pouring across the border next year. It is completely out of control. And to help all Americans, what we need now is an immigration moratorium, both legal and illegal.
I got to run. Do many people recognize?
And then no Americans will be watching soccer.
Do many people in France recognize you?
The Americans do.
Oh.
And they agree with me on soccer.
I agree with you on soccer and immigration. All right, Coulter, God bless you. Thank you. Travel safe. And coming up.
Good to talk to you, Sean.
All right, thank you.